Tigray military units are heading towards Abala Afar region where Tigray Peace Force, Tigray opposition fighters are based. Welcome to my views and news. Thanks for watching the channel. Two news stories. Firstly, I have updates from two places on Tigray Afar border. Vajirat and Abala. In both these places, Tigray opposition fighters are based in Vajirat. There was a clash between TPF and Tigray military yesterday. Details for you what is happening there now and what is happening in Abala or what could happen in Abala. Secondly, Ethiopian PM, is he going to address the parliament? Let's start with this news story. It is being said that on Thursday, the Ethiopian Prime Minister will address the parliament. Whenever he addresses the parliament, the parliamentarians, MPs are told to send their questions in advance. MPs submit their questions to the speaker. The Prime Minister studies the questions. Then tomorrow, MPs will read their questions one by one. Prime Minister will respond to them at the end of all the questions. This is how the question and answer session at the Parliament is conducted. The speech by the Ethiopian PM is going to be very significant. Keeping in view that in coming months, inauguration of GERD is expected. Egypt is gradually building pressure upon Ethiopia. Ethiopian pressure on Eritrea increasing. Ethiopia, Djibouti port deal could not be reached. Ethiopia, Somaliland MOU frozen. Ethiopia, Somalia talks about access to sea reached nowhere. So this speech by the Ethiopian PM is very crucial now, I think. Will he speak about internal matters or foreign policy? That remains to be seen. Hopefully, we'll give you an update after analyzing the speech tomorrow. Now, Tigray viewers, updates from two places in Tigray. By the way, TPF people have been saying for days that they will start their activities. If now we are seeing a tension between Tigray military and TPF, it should not be surprising. But it's surprising for those who were saying TPF is not a force to be reckoned with. Sajid exaggerates. There are a few dozen people there. But now they are realizing that TPF is a force to be reckoned with. Obviously, it's not as large as Tigray military, but even a few thousand fighters can launch an armed struggle, and that could be a pain in the side of Tigray government. I've been calling for negotiation for months, if you remember. From day one, I've been saying TPLF, Tigray military should try to talk to TPF people. They did not. Now they're confronting each other, Tigray military and TPF. Now, update from two fronts. Firstly, Vajirat. In Vajirat, there was a clash between TPF and Tigray military yesterday. Vajirat is situated on Edigudam to Mehoni road. And Tigray military opened fire at TPF people there. TPF said they did not retaliate. They showed restraint. Elders intervened then. Firstly, TPF people entered, TPF fighters entered Vajirat. That is why military tried to stop them. Elders are mediating now. When I'm recording this video, even now, mediation is underway. Military led by General Johannes and TPF people led by Vedi and Tiro. involved in talks. Good thing is that there is ceasefire. There was exchange of gunfire yesterday, but no fighting. At the same time, no solution. So we'll have to wait. So far, no final decision has been made. Elders are talking to both the parties, and they might announce something in coming hours, probably in coming videos. Secondly, Tigray military is heading towards Abala. Abala is the second place in Afar where TPF fighters are based. TPF fighters are based, I think, in 3 or 4 locations in Afar. 3 or 4 in Afar, they are based in 3 or 4 locations. So their entry in Wajirat confirmed. Their second headquarters in Abala. Tigray military units, military vehicles have been seen heading towards Abala. From Makale to Abala, there is a main well-built road. So Abala can easily be reached from Tigray. Question, viewers, is this movement of Tigray military offensive or defensive? Is Tigray military going to enter Afar region to put an end to the activities of TPF fighters there? If Tigray military enters Abala Afar, Abala is right on the border. Afar, Tigray border. It's a mountainous village, you can say. If Tigray military enters Abala, what will TPF people do? Will they fight? Will they retreat? They can retreat as far as they want because the Afar region is hosting them. So they can just pull in Tigray military deep into Afar, which could be a problem for them. And if Tigray military enters Afar region, what will local Afars do? Will they support TPF? Will they oppose Tigray military? So the question is this movement of Tigray military offensive or defensive? If it's offensive, then Tigray military is going to launch attack on TPF people in Abala. If it is defensive, Tigray military will beef up its military presence on its side of Afar Tigray border. Why? Maybe Tigray military does not want TPF fighters to enter Tigray. They entered Wajirat. Now, situation very volatile there. So Tigray military does not want hundreds of TPF armed people to enter Tigray from Afar, from Abala. That is why they are making defensive military deployments on Tigray Afar border. These are 2 likely possibilities. I think that Tigray military won't make the mistake of entering Afar. It should not make the mistake because TPF fighters will move back. Tigray military will have to go deep into Afar. That could be dangerous for them. So ideally, they should try to strengthen their deployment on their side of the border. This is what Tigray soldiers should do. Tigray military cannot, no one can afford a war, by the way. An internal war is unaffordable now. Keeping in view the situation in Tigray, people are suffering. Food aid becoming more and more difficult to be procured. If an armed internal conflict erupts, people will die. They'll die of hunger. That is why the confrontation between TPF and Tigray military should be handled through dialogue. No one should take sides. Rather, everyone should say no to war. Everyone should pressure the party to sit at the table and solve this issue. But TPLF's demands are, I wouldn't say unrealistic, but tall demands. They want removal of top tier of TPLF and Tigray military. They want inclusive government in Tigray. They want free, fair, transparent election, etc., which won't be acceptable for TPLF. Let's see what happens. So we need to monitor the situation, I think, on Tigray Afar border. Thank you for watching.